Hello, everybody. Alright, let's talk. I'm going to keep the song on repeat for a couple of minutes. And YouTube is yelling at me whenever I change to a certain song. And I'm just trying to figure out what song that is. Because, you know, YouTube is crazy about the copyright stuff. And so I don't know what song it is that's setting it off. So I'm going to wait for it. How's everybody doing? Alright, let's begin. 93 days post-breakup. She didn't even have 2 seconds to send a Merry Christmas wish. So that's where I know there is no hope. Trying to move forward. So 93 days. So it's about 3 months. First off, congratulations to you. 3 months is a big deal of no contact. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, everybody. A little tired, if I'm being honest. What are some healthy ways to seek validation? Dan, there are no healthy ways to seek validation from somebody who is not you. Validation comes from within. That's the only way to have it be healthy. Otherwise, we're seeking happiness in things that we don't control. Great advice, second to none. Thank you, that's very nice of you to say. I certainly don't believe I have all the advice, but I like to think I give you guys good advice. Is no contact working after becoming friends with the ex-girlfriend, with my ex-girlfriend? I do not recommend being friends with an ex that you want back. I stopped watching Star Wars to tune in. That's an honor. That's an honor. Ahmed says, hey bro, recently came back to my ex. She says she truly loved me, but she keeps fighting, and she says she doesn't trust me, and it's hurting her. What should I do? Are you guys back in a relationship? I need a little more info there. William says, I've been in no contact for 5 months. My ex called me 4 weeks ago. Look at that. Everybody look at that. I couldn't believe it. She called one time, then she sent a message. Is it me? Can you answer the phone? Or it is me? Can you answer the phone? Look at that. For those of you who doubt, no contact works. Right there. Spoilers. Rory is Luke Skywalker's father. That'd make me a really bad dude. Is no contact the only way to get your ex back? No. No contact is the only way to get you back. Is it normal to be a little panicky and having doubts while reconnecting? Absolutely, Joanne. Absolutely. Completely. And I'm just gonna take this moment to say that if I don't get to your question, please just wait a minute or two and then retype it. Because at the moment, we're looking at 110 people in chat. And so there's a lot of you typing, and there's just one of me, and these questions fly at me pretty quick on my screen. So if I don't get a chance to answer your question, just retype it. And remember also that there's a bit of a lag. I think there's probably about a good 15-20 seconds between when I speak into my microphone and when you guys hear it, so. What if my ex comes back after no contact and decides he still doesn't want to be with me? Is it over for good, or is there still hope? I would remind your ex that you're not interested in being friends with them, you're not interested in talking to them, if they're not interested in a healthy reconciliation. You don't want to be friends with an ex while you still want them back in your life romantically. It's going to throw you into chaos. It's going to make you doubt your every move. It's going to make you act crazy because you have a horse in this race, right? You're tied to the outcome. Any tips for those of us in love with a mysterious yet brilliant man on YouTube who loves coffee? PewDiePie? Rory, should I attend my ex's birthday party if she invites me, even though I haven't wished her during no contact? I think you have to be ready for that. That's a very personal question. You have to be ready to go. And I think based on that question, you probably aren't ready to go and endure that. Hey Rory, why did my ex-boyfriend who dumped me 6 months ago send me a Christmas present and keep contact with me every few weeks but doesn't plan to meet up with me or take it further? I think because there's a dichotomy between your ex wanting you back and your ex thinking you're a bad person. Remember, just because we're broken up with doesn't mean our ex hates us. It doesn't mean our ex stopped caring about us. They may just actively realize that the relationship is no good for them at this moment. A present is a gift of affection, and your ex still may very much have affection for you, but that doesn't necessarily mean your ex wants you back. Alright, I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing this song. Let's try this one. From your experience, what is the average time they reach out? I think that question is based on hope, and it's not my job to give you false hope nor false doom, so I'm not going to answer that one. I appreciate the question, though. How are you, Luca? Difference between the rebound and someone lined up, aka the monkey branch. Well, sometimes monkey branching isn't a rebound, right? Sometimes your ex has been creating an emotional connection with somebody behind your back without you knowing, and then they leave you for them. A rebound is when your ex is dating somebody new or throws themselves into a new unhealthy situation because the feelings previously are not resolved. Rory, you play lots of instruments, but can you serenade us with your voice? I do that every time I open my mouth. I'm just kidding. Hi, Rory, how are you doing? Is ignoring a girl for 3 days in long-distance relationship a good reason to end it? I would say that, I mean, that's a very particular question. Why are you being ignored? Are you ignoring somebody else? I don't want to make assumptions here. Is there some issues that are going on in the relationship that caused the ignoring? Was there just a big fight? We want to be careful about breaking up with people in order to control them. And for everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope everybody's doing well. 4 months no contact. Ex isn't dating anyone else but not reaching out. Stay strong. Stay the course. Focus on you. My ex reached out to my friend. She said she was curious on how the breakup affected me, and she said she has no interest on getting back together and wants me to be a better person. No contact for a month. Well, you don't want to be a better person for your ex, you want to be a better person for you. Rory, please scold us for falling for the ninja moves. What are the ninja moves? You should talk about social media and mutual friends. So, here's what I would say. In regards to social media. Well, it depends specifically what you're talking about, but I'll just speak generally. Okay, so when it comes to social media, you don't want to be viewing your ex's social media. You don't want to be doing anything on social media to get a reaction out of them. Now, if you happen to go silent for a couple weeks and post yourself out doing fun things with new people, like I suggest, that's okay. But if you're doing things like jealousy, purposely getting a reaction out of your ex, that's not healthy. In terms of mutual friends, I would say you should not be using mutual friends in order to find out what your ex is doing. When it comes to mutual friends, keep their name out of your mouth, and hopefully they'll do the same. Ask your mutual friends not to tell you anything about your ex. You don't want to hear that information. God bless you, the love chat guy. You helped me get through this heartache. No problem. Like I tell everybody, I'm the one giving the information, but you're the one doing the work. Thank yourself before you thank me. If she ghosted you and you've been together for a year, wow. I mean, what does that say about that person's mental health? been about 8 months of no contact, and she hasn't tried to reach out at all. And she's got a new boyfriend, the guy that she cheated on me with, but I lost 35 pounds and gained a lot of friends. Good for you, Billy. Good on you. Why, after I posted a picture of me dating someone else, has he started to post a picture of a girl, but he's never in the pics with that girl? She's always alone in the pics. Why is he doing that? That's mind reading. Careful about that. Hi, I'm in no contact, staying strong. I got a message. What does this say here? I got a message before Christmas wishing me a Merry Christmas, hoping I was well and that she was thinking of me. I replied mirroring, but it's gone dead. Any advice? Yes, go right back into that no contact. That's a good sign. What it means, and when I say the word good sign, everybody wants to like assume, oh my god, I'm getting them back. What it means is that in that moment, your ex is thinking about you, right? We don't have to mind read in that moment. They reached out, they were thinking about you. But then people say to me, okay, but by that logic, if they didn't reach out, they weren't thinking about me. Also wrong. We don't know. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Legit? Question marks? Men and women do act very differently, but we have more going on, more differences happening in our brain than we do what's between our legs. So, it's all about understanding each other. Merry Christmas, my dog. You got a nice big bone for Christmas. Like one of those rawhide ones. Although I have to look into the rawhide stuff. I don't know if they're healthy for dogs. I think they are. My vet said they're okay, but if you guys know better, let me know. And sorry about his barking. Yeah, the dog is going to bark at least once during every live stream. I like that question, Dan. What are some healthy communication techniques? What are some healthy communication techniques? So let's think about this. If we... The biggest communication technique that I can think of is that we don't fully want to... No, we're not doing this one. We don't fully let our partner know what's on our mind, right? And this is a big one, so I want everybody to pay attention to this one. If we are feeling a certain way, but we hold that back from our partner, all right? In this effort to spare them of how we're actually feeling, right? What is that doing for the relationship? If you feel that you can't communicate with your partner because whenever you do, you're going to be shouted into submission or convinced as to why you are wrong, your partner's effectively teaching you that you can't communicate with them. But ask yourself, are you doing the same thing? Whenever my partner brings up an issue, is the first place I turn to getting defensive? Because a lot of us do it. And a lot of us say, no, that can't be right. Here's 1,000 reasons as to why you're wrong. Just food for thought. Because so many of us do it, and it's such an unhealthy behavior. And I say this all the time, we are constantly convincing people and teaching people how to treat us. And so if we treat our partner, or if they treat us as if that we cannot safely communicate with them, then they'll learn just not to. And then the problem is never adequately communicated. And then it grows. And then resentment builds. And then ultimately, the problems start. Hey guys, try and Final Flowers, I see your message, but it's in 2 parts. Try and boil it down to 1. Just 1 message. It's a lot. Your stuff is being separated by, other comments. And these are flying too fast for me to read both. My ex reached out to me on Christmas and said she missed me and don't be a stranger. Am I supposed to reach out or wait for her to again? Let her reach out to you again, right? Say, hey, no problem. Keep in touch. Then just go your merry way. My ex texts me every few days and then ghosts me. What should I do? Just remind your ex you're not interested in being friends. You're not interested in talking to them and helping them through a breakup you didn't want. Hi, Clara. Hi, Rory. Today made 2 months strong in no contact. Good for you. However, I have seen him this morning on the same dating app. Still working on me and very confident and still happy. Good on you. Keep it up. Proud of you. I've been in no contact for 7 months. Hi, David. living my life and spending more time with the ones that matter. Working, cooking, writing a new book, etc. That's what it's about. We need to live life as if we only get to do this one time. What mistakes can make our ex never come back? Oh, is that why this is happening? I see. So I just figured something out. What mistakes can make our ex never come back? Abuse. Physical abuse. Cheating. Intense cheating. I mean, listen, every situation is different, right? And so it's so hard to answer a question like that because everybody's threshold is different. For me, I would never go back to a partner who cheats. I would never go back to a partner who is emotionally or physically abusive. You know? Why do guys ghost all the time? I wouldn't say that that's a gender-specific thing. I would just say it's... if the person you're dealing with is not too mentally healthy, you know? Then that is... you know, that speaks, again, more about their mental health. Hi, Rory. I deleted my ex off social media. He still follows me on Instagram. Did I do the right thing, or will he think I have moved on? No, you deleting your ex off of social media is not going to suddenly make them hate you and never come back to you. And if it is enough to have them do that, then the person wasn't very mentally healthy. Not the type of person you want to be with. Hello, sir. Love from India. Hello, Ronak. You nailed it in the last video of cheating. My ex-husband cheated on me with girls 10 years younger. His reason for cheating? That I didn't admire him and never looked up to him. Glad I left him. There it is. Hi, Marisol. Tips on not comparing your ex to the new person you're dating. If you catch yourself comparing and missing your ex more, are you just not ready to date? There is an element of that, Melissa, but I think that it's normal to compare what you had to what you have. You know, it's normal. I'll use a really silly example. If I have a slice of pizza from, like, New York City, and then I have a slice of pizza in California, I'm going to compare, because the most recent stimuli that I have, I realize it's a silly example, but the most recent stimuli that I have is that the thing I had acted like this, or tasted like this, or whatever. The thing I now have is different. You're comparing because they're different. Not because one's better or worse, just because they're different. This is normal. Humans do this all the time. Should I let my ex know I know about monkey branching? I want to ask yourself, is that going to increase attraction or decrease it? Is that going to make her feel better and more safe and more comfortable and secure with you, or is that going to kind of just have her doubt you? My ex just totally ignores my emails and replies to nothing I send. What do I do? Stop sending them. Do you think Luke in The Last Jedi is true to how Luke was in the... No, not at all. Nick, I want you to go to my Twitch. Visit my Twitch. Because I stream on Twitch too, and Twitch is very different than this. I keep it much less professional. Here is about the breakups, but I want to have a conversation with you about that. Hi, Rory. Kindly advise on tips how to stop relationship anxiety and jealousy feelings of opposite sex platonic friends. I need to reread that. Hold on. Hi, Rory. Kindly advise on tips how to stop relationship anxiety and jealousy. Okay. Feelings of opposite sex. I don't get that part, but let's talk about relationship anxiety, separation anxiety. We need to remember what the purpose of anxiety is. Here we go. Give me one sec, guys. I'm going to get this to you. There, if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, and I'm doing a stream on Twitch later today, go there and follow me. I'd love it if you did. Maybe you'll even see what I look like. You won't, though. So let's talk about separation anxiety, because what's the purpose, right? The purpose of separation anxiety and why we feel separation anxiety is actually installed in us from when we're kids. You know, when we're children, and we learn to... Let me put this back up here. When we're children, and we are learning to attach, we're learning who's taking care of us. And usually it's our parents, and so we attach to our parents. Later in life, the way that we learn to love from our parents, just like how we learn to eat, how we learn to talk, tie our shoes, all that other stuff, is it stays with us the rest of our life. And so if our parents love us in a certain way later in life, that's what we learn to accept as love. And we are attracted to that which we find to be familiar, right? We're attracted to the familiar. This is, we all know this. And so if you're attracted to the familiar and you date somebody that you find to be familiar, that reminds you of your previous caregivers, and then they leave you, it triggers the same emotions as if you were a baby and your parents left you, which is what? Which is crying, which is sadness, which is a need to reconnect. It's a survival mechanism. Separation anxiety is a survival mechanism. Just food for thought. My ex reminded me of my dad. There you go. Now, we're not talking about looks, right? Your ex doesn't need to look like your parents. However, there are certain things that make you feel safe and loved and protected. That's why we usually choose certain exes. Rory, you are the best. Know you. How to deal with guilt tripping? It depends. It depends. David, hi Rory, thanks for the session yesterday. What's your stance on blocking social media? Which I've done since it was only the only way to stop me from looking at her profile. I think that what you get from blocking your ex on social media for your mental health greatly overcomes any information you would find by looking at their social media. Now, a lot of people say, all right, but if I block my ex on social media, will they think I hate them? Will that destroy my chances of getting them back? To which I always say, no, of course not. Social media was not the relationship. If your ex sees that you block them on Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or whatever it might be, and they say, ah, that's it, I broke up with them and they blocked me, how dare they? And they don't take you back, or they don't even open up the discussion, that means your ex is very immature. Your ex is not an adult. Right? It's about loving yourself first. And guess what? Not looking at your social media, not looking at your ex's social media is exactly what you need to do to gain that mental peace and that mental quiet. Now, some people can stay social media friends with their ex and they won't obsessively look. But for me, personally, I had to block my ex. Hi Rory, I wonder why my ex keeps posting sad songs or pictures on social media, but still hasn't reached out. Too stubborn? Maybe a little bit. But we have so much behavioral data to show that if your ex truly wants something, they'll go get it. Maybe not directly. Maybe they won't reach out and said, I messed up. But they'll find a way to get themselves into your orbit. Rory, on our opinion, what is the worst advice from your favorite relationship coaches? The worst advice from my favorite relationship coach, or the relationship coaches that I guess I can comment a little on each. The dating guy, I tend to like all around. I think he's a good person. I think he is trying to show people the ridiculousness of some of the other coaches, like Brad Browning, like Matthew Hussey. You have to remember that these people are really the Brad Brownings, the Matthew Husseys, the Dan Bacons, those ones. They're really predatory. And it works because what do? They promise you that all you need to do is do this simple thing. Give in to those instincts that you feel might be wrong, like bugging your ex after the breakup. And I think that they feed into your fears. If you don't reach out to your ex in the next 5 days, they're gonna leave you forever. You know? And so what do? They tell you, oh, just come to me. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. It's gonna be easy, right? You just need to force your way back into your ex's life. If you're like a Dan Bacon, or for Brad Browning, you need to give them 30 days of no contact and then remind them of a good thing that happened between you two. A good memory. As if your ex is that gullible. And as if you're not transparent at all when you do that. But for the coaches that give good advice, at least advice that I find to be, pretty valid. But remember, everybody's idea of valid is different, right? Some people watch, Craig Kenneth, Corey Wayne, and they say, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Some people watch me and they say, that's exactly what I need to hear. Some people watch me and hate the advice. It's just it's subjective. The viewer decides if the advice is relevant. Some people, they want to give in for the easy way. They want to reach out to their ex in 5 days and say, you know, I love you so much, come back to me. But what I preach is self-love. Is if your ex doesn't come back, they don't deserve you back. And I think that, you know, okay, here's one that I've heard that was brought up to me the other day. It's Coach Lee. And what a person I was coaching had said, they said, Coach Lee heard my situation and then told me to reach out to my ex 4 months in because what do I have to lose? And I thought to myself, excuse my language, your fucking dignity. Right? Steve, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate that. Everybody give a clap for Steve. That was very nice of you. Any money that you guys donate here goes back into the love chat. It goes back to giveaways for you guys. I'm going to be giving away copies of the book and copies of the shirt. Free shirts and free coaching giveaways and things like that. So any money you guys put here is not going into my wallet. It's going back to you guys. Remember, I'm not here to take everybody's money. What was another one? Corey Wayne. The only thing I don't like about Corey Wayne, because I think that his issues, his coaching, his videos are pretty accurate. I don't like how chauvinistic he is. I wish he, appealed to more than just men. But I do not necessarily disagree with what he's saying. Craig Kenneth. Again, I love these coaches. I mean, you're asking me to pick things I don't like about them. Craig Kenneth, I think his videos are a little long-winded, and he's becoming a little silly with his book. But, you know, can you blame him? He's making money. It's just hard to nitpick coaches that I like. That's a weird question. If they don't love you, they don't deserve you back. Yes, Rory. Yes, Marcos. Master Yoda of YouTube, your Skype sessions have helped me a lot. I continue to lose weight and better my life. Planned a trip to LA one night to see friends. All right. That sounds fun. Hi, Carl. Corey always looks like he's about to play some golf. Oh, shoot. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. You're very welcome for everything. You know, I'm going to turn this around. Thank you guys for listening to the advice. Thank you guys for making your lives better. Because guess what? One day, you're going to meet somebody in your life who's heartbroken. And you're going to have all the knowledge that it takes to help them not be heartbroken. Right? You're going to tell them what they need to do. You're going to be a voice of reason, a voice of calm, and you're going to help them get through the things that they need to get through, because breakups are hard, guys. They suck. And they make you feel horrible about yourselves, but you guys are going to be the stabilizing force. You guys are going to be the one that helps this 48% divorce rate in the United States, and who knows what it is in the UK and Europe, etc., and you're going to make it get less and less and less. And you know what? Even if we get this divorce rate in the world down 2%, well, that's millions of people. And so we win. So good on you guys. Hi, my ex broke up with me and said that even if I change, he doesn't want me back. Is there still a chance? Your ex will tell you what they feel in the moment they feel it. How your ex feels today and how they feel a month from now, a week from now, a year from now, can differ greatly. And so what your ex says today you shouldn't take into too much account. What's important is to take a step back, look at the bigger picture here, right? Breathe deep and relax. What is going on when an ex unfriends you months into no contact? I think that they may be just going through the stages of a breakup, and they need to maybe push themselves to do that next thing. But another thing to remember here is everybody thinks that no contact will help, make their ex suddenly miss them, love them, etc. No contact does help towards that, and you focusing on yourself does put you in a place of It puts you in a better mindset because you're more excited about your life. But also, sometimes a relationship was just a good relationship and you both were done growing together, and maybe you'll come back later in life and grow together some more. A relationship, or rather a breakup, does not always need to mean there was this big negative thing that happened. Sometimes you just grew apart, right? Sometimes there was no cheating. There was no big issues. Hi, Carl. What's shaking? Hi, Jesse. William says, my ex called and I did not answer her call because it shocked me. Then she called again. I did not answer. After that, I have not heard from her. Will she contact me again? What should I do now? If she called twice, how long ago was that? If it was recent, you can call her back. You're supposed to strike when the iron is hot, though. And that may have been the iron being as hot as it was going to get. So, you should reach out. That's a more complicated one. I need to know more details about that before I tell you to just reach out. But do all exes go through breakup stages? I think all exes do go through breakup stages, but the breakup stages themselves are different, if that makes sense. How do dumpers move on? Hi, Isaac. How do dumpers move on faster or just jump into dating someone new fairly quickly? It's a distraction, right? It's just a distraction. Daisy says, Rory, thank you for helping people heal. You're very welcome, Daisy. Please do some videos on the rekindling and this phase. I can't find much online. I'm just taking it a day at a time right now. Yes, actually, some videos are coming on that. You should check back on the channel Monday. A video will be coming out for everybody tomorrow on Saturday. I took a day off Thursday because I wasn't feeling too well, but I'm feeling much better today. And so a video is coming out for you all on Saturday. And an additional video is coming out for the patrons on Saturday as well. So if you're interested in becoming a patron, visit my Patreon. What would you consider as moving on too quickly? That depends. Is that for the dumpee or the dumper? I'll answer both. For the dumpee, moving on too quickly is trying to force yourself to get past the stages of grief that you have not actually grieved yet. Trying to do things you're not ready for, right? Dating again, sharing a part of yourself that was previously closed off. For the dumper, kind of the same thing actually, you know? Rebounding so hard that they actually haven't grieved the breakup, right? Just because they made the breakup happen does not mean they're not affected by it. Jesse says, Rory, can you give tips on how to ease fear when you and your ex have reconnected, but they say they're unsure of what they want? If they're saying they're unsure of what they want, that means you're chasing too hard. Back away. Let them come to you. Lucas says, just wanted to thank you for your work and your fair coaching prices. Well, you're very welcome. So, who said that? Was that Jesse? So, what I want you to do is allow your ex the chance to come and get you. Remember, attraction grows in space. The #1 killer of desire, everybody needs to listen to this closely. The #1 killer of desire is when you try to take too much care of your ex, of your partner. If you want to know too much about them, if you want to hear their every single thought, if you I think I just froze there for a second. Sorry about that, guys. What I was saying is, if you don't let them be their own person, they need to be their own person. This is the weird thing. She comes to me all the time. I stepped away and let her be the one to reach out. But what's more important, everybody? What's more important? Is it the person or is it the relationship? The person inspires the feeling of the relationship, right? So the trick here is to be just a little less interested in your ex at all times. Like, yeah, you want to be in a relationship, but like your heart's not gonna be broken if you don't get to be. Rory came to save the day. Hi, Vanessa. Will the dumper go through more pain after your breakup and the rebound? I don't know if they'll go through more pain, but they will go through pain. Hi, Rory. I've been in no contact for 2 months now. My ex told me I should find someone better. It was also a short-term relationship. Is there a chance he will reach out? Absolutely. Okay, so step back and don't make myself as available to her. Yep, say no sometimes. But we're not doing this to manipulate your ex. I want to be very clear here. We're not doing this to manipulate your ex. We're doing this because you do want to have your own life. You do want to maintain your individuality. I said this in the video about cheating, but this goes for relationships in general. When you are now in a relationship and things are going well, don't give your ex, pardon, I'm so used to saying that word. Don't give your current partner the leftover bits of you from the day. Right? Don't give your partner the parts of you that have been spent. Mostly I'm okay, Rory, but at times it just hurts so much 4 months in. I've been there. We've all been there. But good on you. Look, you went from mostly feeling bad to mostly feeling okay. That's progress. So good on you. Amy says, long story short, I was in a 9-year relationship, argued all year, and he ran away. Says he doesn't have feelings, yet won't say, don't love you. Anytime I pull, he debates his actions. So I temporarily blocked him. Careful about controlling, right? You just want to let your ex know lovingly, hey, you know, if you're not interested in a relationship, I'm not interested in having any type of relationship with you, friendship or otherwise. Waiting for the book, Zahara says. Yep, the book's going to be coming out, I'm hoping February. I'm trying to get that book done, and I'm trying to get it done in such a way where it's going to be helpful for you guys. And so I think it's going to be cheap, I can promise you that much. It'll be a good quality book, and it will be cheap, because you guys know me. And I'm thinking for the book, I'll probably donate 20-30% of the profit from that to charity as well. I'm big into charity. Matt, what's going on? Have you found that once you stop thinking about the ex, or at least dwelling, and you are indifferent, that they reach out, or is it all coincidence? Happy holidays, by the way. This is a good question. I love this question. What Matt is asking is... There we go. What Matt is asking is... Once I'm over my ex, will my ex sense that and then reach out? And we want to believe that this is true, right? But it's usually not true in that way. The amount of time we spend hung up on an ex is... I'm just going to use a... Dan, I'm going to answer your question in a minute, because that was a shot at Craig Kenneth. I'm going to use this silly example just because it's easier to think about. If I spend 10 minutes thinking about my ex, and I spend 50 minutes over my ex, and my ex reaches out anywhere within those 50 minutes, I spent a greater amount of time over my ex than I did thinking about my ex. And people will use this to say, you spent a little bit of time thinking about your ex and they didn't reach out. You spent the rest of your life not thinking about your ex and they did reach out. And people always say, see, you got over your ex and they reached out. Well, think about that, right? But people, I think what everybody's saying is that your ex reaching out is random. They were thinking about you and they finally decided to reach out. That's random. We can't control that part. But, that being said, when your ex reaches out and sees how you're acting, and sees that you're kind of just indifferent, you are more attractive. That's why. Good question. I like that question. So Dan asked, is my book actually reading, or is it a watch my video and reflect? And he's speaking specifically about my book and what it will be versus Craig Kenneth's workbooks. And he's very clear to call them workbooks, because what he wants you to do is basically ask, how do you feel about this situation or this topic or this, and reflect upon it. So basically Craig Kenneth will ask a question, tell you to watch certain videos on his channel, and then have you write yourself out what you think about that. No. My book will be a book that you can open up and read. It will have chapters. It's not going to be a workbook. That's why it requires a bit more work. I'm not knocking Craig Kenneth's workbooks. My book will be a book that you can read with knowledge. It will not be a book where you self-reflect. You spend enough time in your waking life self-reflecting, trust me. You don't need a book to have you do it more. Rory, why would my ex tell me she doesn't like me checking out other girls? She's dating someone else and tells me she thinks of me. That's a control tactic. That's a control tactic. Rory, did you know that love advice guys have a channel in French, so they give their crappy advice in 2 languages instead of 1? I think that is very... I mean, I hate Love Advice TV. I think they're predatory. Just like Brad Browning and Dan Bacon and Clay Andrews and Matt Hussey and all those people. It's all predatory. It's all predatory. It tells you what you want to hear and it feeds into your fears. Yes, the book will also be an audiobook. I'll be doing a voiceover for that as well. Well, Craig Kenneth did call it a workbook series. Yes, that's what I mentioned earlier, Freya. Craig Kenneth was very clear. He said it's a workbook. It's not a book. It's not a reading book. What do you think about Chris Sider? Chris Sider is also a load of garbage. Anybody who has an X-Back percentage quiz on their website is full of shit and is becoming silly. Let's see here. Hey Rory, how often should you post on social media if your ex still follows you? Post normally, right? If you feel like posting out, do it. If you don't, no problem. $20 says your audiobook outsells the PDF. My ex, you guys are really uplifting, thank you. Back to that question about social media, you should post, listen, here's my advice. You want to be able to post yourself out doing fun things, showing your ex that you're not just on the couch. You're not just going to sit home and cry. And if your ex reaches out, great. Hey, who was that person you were with? What were you doing? Oh, that looked like fun. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, how you been? What's new? Tell me about your life. Also, will the book contain ways to keep a relationship? Yes, the book will be about breakups, and it will also be about maintaining healthy new relationships. It will be about attraction. It's going to be all 3 topics kind of roped into one. I don't know how long the book is going to be, because I may do a couple. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. That's a good question, Dan. The book will be at least minimum 50 pages, which is probably about a 2-hour audiobook. That's my guess. Rory, you were a godsend. Thank you so much. I plan on writing a success story in a few months. Look at that. Success stories. I love it. I really have to impart upon you guys. Remember, I'm the one giving the information, but you guys are the one going out there and doing the work. That's the real hard part. Me talking behind a microphone with information that I've learned from my professional life is not hard. You guys are doing the real hard work. So before you applaud me, applaud yourself. Tips to get unblocked by an ex. Absolutely. You want to get unblocked by him? Leave them alone. Leave them 100% alone. Wait for them to feel ready. Being blocked is a sign that I no longer wish to communicate or speak with you. I personally want a Rory music channel where he plays all his instruments. Thank you, Callisto. Let's see. Is it possible for you guys to give up a long-distance relationship only due to inconvenience, or is it always an excuse? Is it possible for a guy to give up on a long-distance relationship only due to inconvenience? It could be both, right? Is it normal to do intense physical, mental, and spiritual training and still feel absolutely wrecked at night? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. But remember, you want to do things that specifically address helping relax you. So, sure, exercise will help, but how about some deep meditation? How about some journaling? What about something creative, right? It doesn't just have to be the exercise. Matt says, use the audiobook to get voice acting gigs. Play a dating coach in a cartoon and anime. That's funny. I've done a couple of audiobooks, but it's not under this name. It's under a different name. Because you nosy bastards will go look. I know you guys. Won't leave me alone. Always trying to see what I look like. You're not gonna see, damn it. Is it okay to reach out after you've been on 2 dates with your ex? No, let them come to you. If you're dating your... Everybody look at that. Look what he just said. Thomas Lewis said, is it okay to reach out after you've been on 2 dates with your ex? For everybody who comes here and everybody who asks, you know, God, is my ex ever going to reach out? Has anybody had a success story? Please, just give me something. Look at what that gentleman just said. He's dating his ex again. Right? Best meetup groups to join and check out. Thomas, I'd love to answer that question for you, but because meetups are based on location, and I'm not sure where everybody lives, it's hard. I live near-ish, sort of-ish, near New York City. I live in New Jersey, but probably about an hour and a half away from New York City. And so, for me, I'm going to have a much greater variety due to the city. But you have to check. Meetup is a location-based app. As a rule, do you see more men coming back or women? That's a good question. It's actually funny because when I look at my YouTube analytics and when I look at my coaching analytics, I get almost an even split. I probably get a 60-40 split from men to women. I get more men than women, but... Huh. It's a good question. Probably more women come back than men, I think. As hard as some of the people are gonna believe. They do. That's exactly what I've been doing, man. Along with exercise, reaching out to people, and focusing on creative writing, which is what I do. Well, if you do all of these things that you're used to doing, how are you forcing yourself to grow? And let's think about this question for a minute, because on its face, it doesn't make too much sense. Like, I'm exercising. Yeah, I'm growing. We want to create new connections in your brain, right? New neural pathways. And I was talking to somebody about this in a coaching earlier. If you're at your house doing some creative writing, well, you obviously live there, you know what it's like, and you're doing something you do regularly, so you know what that's like. What about going out somewhere into a place where you're not familiar with and doing something you're not familiar with? So an example that I can pull from my life is I went to a town I don't really go to, and I signed up for a class in a place I was, I didn't know, and I was doing an activity I wasn't used to, which was shooting bow and arrow. You know? So it created a new neural pathway, a new memory that had nothing to do with my ex. It was for me, and only for me. It was Rory the person. Not Rory the person who was broke up with. Become a new version of you. Is it just me, or does this live chat seem to be in a good mood? It seems a lot of people are putting in the work. Hell yeah, good for you guys. That's really great, guys. I'm proud of you all. Success story. 3 weeks ago, my ex reached out after 5 months of no contact. We went on dates and now in a relationship. Everybody take a look at that. Look at that. Hi, Rory. Is it possible to reconcile after nearly 3 years? We're not divorced yet. I've stopped pursuing her, and I'm moving on, but I'm still open to reconciling. Do the work. Do the work. Follow the advice. Stay in no contact or limited contact if you share, business interests or children or anything like that. Focus on you. You're never going to regret it. I promise. You will never regret treating others well. You will never regret telling the truth. And you will never regret self-work and self-love. I promise. Do you think dumpers are more or less likely to return to a relationship if you live together and they had to move out? Probably more likely. Hi, Christy. Oh my god, we gotta find those audiobooks. Good luck finding them. You're not gonna find them. I'll give you one hint. I'm so confident you won't find them, I'll give you one hint. They're on Amazon. That's all I'll tell you. But you're not gonna find them. Like I'm so completely sure that you're never gonna find them. My ex hasn't dated anybody ever since our breakup a year ago, and she seems to be stagnating in her life. Is it one of the stages of a dumper that a dumper goes through? It can be. I would call that more of a personal problem. Rory, do you have good dance moves? No, I can't dance at all. I'm really bad at dancing. Just give me 1 second, everybody. I'm going to fix a quick microphone issue. It's cutting in and out on my end. Or not, the headphone issue, not microphone issue. I'll answer this one. Hi, Rory. I want to play an instrument. What do you play? I want to learn new things. I found the audiobooks. Yeah, I bet. You should look into an easy instrument to start as the piano. It's not easy to master, but it is easy to start. Or the guitar. What do I play? I play piano, guitar, I sing opera, which probably explains the voice. And what else do I play? I play a little bit of clarinet. I'm not very good at the clarinet. I play ukulele. I wouldn't say I'm very good at clarinet, but I can, you know, I could teach like a 6-year-old, like the first couple of lessons. Now give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to fix this real quick, and in the meantime, I'll be right back. Wonderful, it's fixed. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Alright, let's see here. Hi, Rory. My ex broke up with me, but we remained friends. I recently told her I don't want to be friends and need space. She went about 5 days before she started texting me. Look at that. Everybody have another peek at that. I just realized this song is looping. I'm gonna change my ringtone to hello, so every time I smile... So I smile every time my phone... That's funny. You're funny. How can you tell the difference between mind games and genuine interest? Well, genuine interest is consistent, isn't it? Mind games is hot and cold, full of inconsistency. I'll be selling Rory's name. Hit me up. My name is Rory. Oh... You guys aren't going to find them because they're obscure. If you type my name in... No, I've used a different name for Audible. But no, my name is Rory, so hi. Or hello. He didn't reach out for my birthday. Is this a bad sign? It is not. I've said this before, and I think that people are always so worried about this one issue. If they don't reach out for Christmas, or New Year's, or my birthday, or... anything like that, does that mean they're not going to come back? And I use this as a counter-argument. What if them not reaching out to you on a special day is them realizing and acknowledging that they did something that hurt you? Right? And so, rather than reach out and remind you of what they did, they leave you be, and they say, you know, I don't want to reach out. I know I hurt them. I don't want to reach out. I don't want to ruin their day. They may not be thinking about me. And so me reaching out will remind them of me, and it will make them sad on their special day. I don't want to do that. Pokemon Master says, my ex left our 8-year relationship for someone she's never physically met on a video game. I took her for granted and stopped trying. Do you think that the length of the relationship has an effect on the chances of an ex coming back? 3 weeks, no contact so far. Does the length of a relationship have an effect? Yes, it does. Yes, absolutely, it does. Question: how to change your toxic behavior? Step 1 to change behavior that is toxic is to acknowledge that it is. As silly as that sounds, is that it is. In order to do better, you first must know better. And so once you've acknowledged whatever behavior it is, get some counseling. Ask a therapist, why am I doing this? What about me? What insecurity does this strike? We should create a WhatsApp group and help each other. Lee, there actually is a Discord. And for those of you who don't know what Discord is, it is basically a live chat service that you can use for instant messaging or for for voice over IP, meaning you could talk to each other. And so for anybody who wants to be a part of the Discord, you can use this link that I'm about to post. All you need to do is click on that link and create a Discord account, which is free. And there are well over 200 people there. There's a forum, there's a Discord. If you guys need the forum link, all you need to do is go to one of my previous videos and the link will be right there. All you need to do is click it. Raphael says, thank you for giving us your time. Raphael, that was very nice of you. You didn't need to donate, but thank you very much. Like I said, any money that you guys donate is going to go right back into the love chat, and it's going to go back into giveaways for you all. Does age make a difference in how you handle the breakup situation? I think so. I think so. The older we get, the better we do. You know, for somebody who's young and who's never been through this and who's less certain of who they are as a person, then certainly they're not going to do as well. But I think for somebody who is older, a bit more set in their ways, a bit more certain, a bit less willing to compromise, then, you know, again, as we get older, we begin to kind of solidify our position. As we're younger, we're a bit more moldable. And perhaps you get wiser as you get older. At least I like to think. I have some people that I coach that are 70 who would disagree. Hi, Cess. Hi, Rory. I think my ex is mad at me for not reaching out on an important date, and she's gone completely silent. I feel she'll never reach out again. I think that that's a completely regular way to feel, don't you? That's a completely regular way to feel. Focus on you. Take care of you. If that's how your ex is going to act, if your ex broke up with you and said, I don't want to be with you anymore, I'm sorry. And you said, okay, well, you know, I'm not interested in that, that hurts. And it's painful to be in any type of relationship with you that's not romantic. And so I need to walk away. And they get mad at you for walking away. What does that say about your ex? It says your ex is just trying to control you. I don't want you as a romantic partner, but I do want you there to validate me. And so when you don't validate me, when you go away, I'm going to get mad at you. That's not very nice, is it? After 5 years... Let me go back here. Sorry, I'm replaying some of these songs because I trust them. YouTube is crazy about the copyright. After 5 years, my ex... after 5 years, my ex and split. Okay, I'm gonna assume this means after 5 years, me and my ex split. She has been in a relationship. I need to... Oh, okay, so you and your ex were together for 5 years. You guys have been broken up. She's been in a new relationship, and now she's engaged. That relationship was only 3 months long. That is concerning behavior from your ex, to get engaged after 3 months. But everybody's different. Sometimes when you know, you know. Personally, that's not how I operate, but, you know, everybody's different. I'm 18 and finding your videos. I'm 18 and finding your videos have been the best things that has ever happened to me. Thank you, that's very nice, Brian. You're very welcome. Peter says, didn't call her for 4 days. Get dumped. No contact rule for 1 month. Then I texted a good response. After a day, she ignored it. We don't do the 30 days no contact here. We do not do 30 days no contact. We do no contact forever. My ex is obviously a narcissist by the way she gave me the silent treatment, then discarded me. Then give me silence ever since. Be careful about deciding that your ex is a narcissist. Narcissism is quite serious. How can you tell the difference between mind games and genuine interest? I answered that one. You're not paying attention. The difference between mind games and genuine interest is this. Mind games are inconsistent. Genuine interest is consistent. Isaac. Tell me your audiobooks. You know where to find me. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'm curious about John Soto's question. Where's John's question? Oh, here it is. Does a rebound make a difference on the effect of no contact and the holidays? Perhaps. Perhaps. Does it make a difference? I would say it makes a difference because it's distracting them. But does it make a difference in that, do they want to reach out? Perhaps they still want to reach out, but now they're distracted by this new novelty thing. Do I play PUBG? I've played PUBG before. But I can't say I'm very good at it. But again, for all the video game stuff, just go to my Twitch. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch later today, guys. So for those of you who want to come watch me be bad at video games and also answer relationship questions, just visit that. That's just if you want to support me in a different way. We're going for Twitch partners so I can go to TwitchCon. Ideally, if I go to TwitchCon, my goal is to maybe do a speech about relationships and as they happen online. But we'll see. I'm not really sure where that's going to go. That's much less certain. But if you're interested in watching me do a more of a podcasty talk show where I'll invite people on to talk about their situations and play a video game from time to time and talk about relationship issues and concerns and online relationships, things like that. That's going to be more for Twitch. People will see me if you... I'm not afraid of showing you guys what I look like, I just don't. Rory, what does a healthy and successful long-distance relationship look like? It looks like any other relationship. Long distance is hard. Long distance is hard. And certainly a lot of problems via long distance are exacerbated. But long distance perhaps has a bit more closeness because there's so much distance, if that makes sense. I'll go and sell the pictures, profit. You guys are making me feel dirty now. Stop it. Can we do opera singing time to time? I'll tell you what. If you guys happen to be on the Twitch, maybe I'll sing a little opera. Maybe. Maybe. Rory, ex broke with her ex. Should I approach her? No, let your ex come to you. If your ex is interested, they will come to you. My ex wants to get back together, but she's had a one-night stand during our split and it still bothers me. What would you suggest? I would suggest letting it go. That's not helpful. We don't own your ex. You don't own your ex. When do you plan on doing your Twitch live stream? I'm thinking probably right around 5. So about an hour and a half from now. Demo Fitness asked a question that I think a lot of people are concerned with, which is basically my ex wants to get back together, but she slept with someone else when they were not together. It wasn't cheating, they weren't together though. And it hurts. How do you reconcile the feelings of knowing that your ex has been with someone else? But that comes from ownership, right? We don't own our ex. It's painful, yeah, because we know it's a biological pain, right? Because we knew that our ex hasn't been with you know, quote unquote faithful. But what we have to remember is that they didn't do anything wrong and we can't punish them. You were free to go sleep with somebody else. They were free to go sleep with somebody else. If you were still married but the question is, were you separated? Right? Because then you have the idea of marriage, but marriage, frankly put, and feel free to disagree with me, everybody has a different opinion on this. Marriage typically is more of a financial institute than it is a religious or a, you know, people are going to disagree with me on that. But if you're married to a person and you both have since separated, you are not together, that kind of means the exclusivity of marriage is no longer taking effect. You can't really call it an affair if you and your partner have agreed to separate, because then you're both on the same page. I realize that not everybody is going to agree with me, but there are just so many definitions of that. Rory, please answer. If the dumper tried reaching out with no response, then do they go no contact? How does that work for the dumper? If the dumper tries to reach out and they don't get a response. If the dumper reaches out and they don't get a response. No, I think they'll try again. It depends. Are you the dumper? Your ex may just not have been ready. Give him a little more time in the pot. Dumpers play by a different set of rules than dumpies, and usually this channel gets dumpies. Rory, what's your take on journaling during a breakup? I have 4 books full of pages from journals. And for those of you who are on my Patreon, you've got to hear the first chapter of my journal. Some cringy stuff in there. Do feelings change over time? My ex said she just thinks of me as a friend after our 8-year relationship. Yes, they do. I journal like a mad woman. Good for you. Journaling is healthy. And journaling doesn't always have to be about your ex. Sometimes it can just be for you. Rory, I mean my ex-girlfriend broke up with her rebound. What should I do? What should be my next move to get her back? The same thing. Leave her alone. Let your ex come to you if she's interested. Rory, is it okay to keep photos up of your ex? Yes, I think it's fine. How do you deal with the thought of your ex hooking up with somebody else? This was a question I answered earlier. I think that we just need to leave it. We need to leave it be. It's not a healthy thought. It's not going to help us with attraction. It's only going to make us worry more. And what we have to remember is that during a breakup, when our ex and us are split, we need to remember that the exclusivity that we once shared is no more. We don't own our ex. We don't own our ex's body, just like they don't own us. My ex broke up with me 4 months ago, and we didn't talk since then. Is there any chance he will come back? Absolutely. Personally, my ex didn't reach out until 6 months later. Hey Rory, no contact now for 9 months. Congratulations. Tried to reconnect with her 2 times. She didn't want any of it. What to do? Continue improving and let her come to me? Or try to approach again? You know what to do, my friend. You need to continue improving. Focus on you. Don't let your ex run your life. Don't make it to a year, right? Don't make it to a year and still want your ex back in that capacity. And remember, everybody, that mourning for your ex is okay. Wanting your ex back is normal. You're all normal. It's okay. Just remember to focus on you. We need to live as if we only get to do this one time. Just something to think about. Alright everybody, so I've been streaming for about an hour and coming up on 14 minutes, so I'm going to drop the stream here. If you want to see me stream more, I will be streaming on Twitch. And that will be a bit more laid back. And so if you want to see me on Twitch later, I still will be answering questions about relationships. In order to be able to ask, just like YouTube, you need to have an account. It's free. So if you want to see when I'm on, do me a solid. And I want to get to 100 on Twitch. So feel free to follow me there. And I'll be answering some more questions there. And I will be doing a podcasty type thing, just like YouTube. Those get saved. And so I'll post those as well. But until then, I hope that everybody has a safe, happy, healthy New Year, and remember, put yourself first, because you're never going to regret it a day in your life. Until next time.